let's bring ex-manager, Scout Supreme, Technical Director. Any of the titles you want to give us, Al?
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Yeah,
that's fine, is it?
Ex.
Yeah. Well, you weren't here on Saturday. You probably, I don't know if you've seen the highlights on our package.
Yeah,
but,
I have.
It was a fantastic game, and one of those players was down to you, I believe, Matt Stevens, securing the loan period. Talk us through how all that went through with Matty.
Well, Matty, we were playing Cambridge City last season, and I watched the game, the match before, and he made his debut, and he was a right live wire, sharp, and I wrote in my report that he had amazing pace off the mark, and he was a real handful. And then he did the same against us in the game, and then he played one more game, and then he went to Ireland. And
Sligo Rovers, was that?
Yeah, Sligo Rovers, yeah. And at the beginning of the season, we obviously had problems. We thought Rene, and we knew O'Connor was suspended. So I got in touch with various league teams, and one was Barry Fry at Peterborough, and he offered me 3 almost straight away. And when I see his name, I said, right, we'll have him. And I met him, when we played at Spalding the first game, and he's done really well for us. The only problem is that we have sort of not on paper or guaranteed, but we've got to be starting 1 or 2 more games, which is very difficult when you got Rene and O'Connor's been a revelation. I mean,
well, it's the first pre-season he's had, isn't it? So
yeah, I mean, he's worked so hard. He really has. I mean, I see a couple of training sessions, and him and Bateman, I feel a bit sorry for. He trained really hard, and the other one that really did was Dom, which unfortunately left. But no, I mean, that's how Matty come here, and he's a great lad to have, because the thing is, if you look at the fixtures now, October's horrendous in terms of who we're playing, but it's magic that we're up the top and we're playing all the top teams, and they're all big matches. So that's what it's for. I mean, and the middle 4, which is completely new, it's just fantastic how it's. I mean, Ben Milnes, I've been raving about for ages. Before we played him in the cup final, I watched him, and he had a bit of devil in him, which I hadn't seen before. And I thought he's really talented. I thought he was the man of the match in the final. And then
just went off towards the end, didn't he? He ran the show for a while.
For about 60-70 minutes, and then it was the same, because we wasn't in the playoffs. I could go and watch what matches I want. And Honus, going back to Barton Rovers Day with Anderson up front, that night they ripped us to pieces. And he lost his way a bit at Royston and then St Albans. So I thought, well, he scored a hat-trick, I think, against Slough. So I went and watched him. And who played in the middle of the park? Richards, revelation, right back. Knew he was a good player, didn't know how good he was. And I phoned on the way back Marcus. I got 1, I got 2, Honus and Richards, and I think the middle 4 is the best since I've been at the club. I think it's a fantastic.
Definitely improvement to last season, isn't it?
Yeah,
more commitment and more vision.
Yeah, well, Honus is home matches. He's got that pace to get behind, and his end product is not bad either. So I think we're a different outfit. Michael's obviously, Marcus knew him, and I'd seen him play, and he's a fan's favourite, and he's done really well. And same with Berry as well. I mean, he's a proper defender. I just spoke to Ben Toseland, who's done well with James Brighton being injured, and I said, you want to watch him as a defender, because that's what defenders should be like.
He just defends, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's there's not many of them about.
No, there's not. They all want to march up the field, but he just wants to defend, and that's what you need.
And of course, with Brett and Gary doing so well, but you've got to remember they're 32 and 35. We obviously got a strength.
Is that true? Because Brett never admits to being 35.
Well, I thought he was 36, but he told me he's 35. But the thing is that they're not going to play 55, 60 matches. It's impossible. And it's no secret that we are after 1 or 2.
I was hinting, wasn't I, before you came on? That,
yeah.
Is there any truth in that?
We're very close. Yeah, we're very close to. We're talking to 2 or 3 players or agents, as it is these days, unfortunately. But yeah, we've worked hard. I reckon I'm up in the 20s to centre halves that we've.
I know pre-season said to me that you looked at a lot,
and we've lost for one reason or another. Sometimes it's geography, sometimes it's money, sometimes it's things. But when you're top of the league like we are, it's a big advantage now. People want to come. But the ones that we're involved with at the moment are quite complicated, so I can't say no more than that.
Okay. Well, as I say, we had that great game against Chesham United, which you missed. You were scouting, you were looking at Banbury United,
yes,
and you said to me there's been a few changes since when you watched them on Saturday at Kings Langley. I think it was 4-2, was that?
Yeah. 4-3.
4-3. So
Kings Langley games are always 4-3. Yeah.
What did you think to Banbury overall then?
They were very poor first half. Weiss and that, they gave him problems at the back. Like, he's a good player for Kings Langley, and it should have been more than 1-0. And then second half they were transformed. They got a lad called McDonough up front. He plays with the big lad from the league football. I think he's 38, Jefferson. I think he's
Jefferson Lewis.
Yeah, I think
he's 38, isn't he? I think.
But they're big lads, both of them, and they got the tallest, strongest in the air centre half I've ever seen. So they're dead balls, yeah. So dead balls. I think they got Bradbury playing as well, who I know from many years. He's a 6'3". So my main theme of my report was that don't give dead balls away, and we have to mark really very close, and because we don't want to be giving throw-ins and corners and free kicks away, because they are very strong in that area. So. But I noticed a couple of weaknesses down the centre of the park. They play a little bit too much, so I'm hoping we'll press them. And yeah, it's going to be, you expect it. They've only lost a couple of games and they've won all the others, and you're expecting a big game. And
well, Ed Palmer said beforehand, and rightly so, that something could break tonight. We've got the best home record and beaten at home and beaten away. So it's
I mean, if we can win these sort of games, and then October we're playing the Sloughs and the Reddiches, good sides, and if we can get through to November without doing too much damage, we'll be in a good position. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, it's transformed, hasn't it, from last season? Who would have thought that we'd be top of the league at the moment? I know it's only 9 games, 8 or 9 games, but even so, it's a much better place to be, isn't it?
Well, I did at the beginning of pre-season. I thought we got a hell of a team, and I still think we have. I think we need strengthening. I've watched Hereford twice this year. I've watched the likes of Royston and stuff like that. They've all got big squads. Slough got a big squad.
But you only play 11 though, can't you?
That's the thing. That's the thing that I don't understand. Obviously, with Hereford, they've got 2 teams. They're packed. They get massive gates and stuff like that. But the youngsters, unfortunately, our 3 good youngsters, 2 of them have had operations in the summer. Ben Baker's been on the fringe. He needs probably, when we get this run of games, to go on loan somewhere to get more games. But the lads like Toseland and Manish and Gary have done well. So, we've got a decent squad, but we obviously need strengthening in a couple of positions.
So I can take it from you then that we're going to get a couple more players. Is that
we
right?
will, yes.
Well, you heard it here first, so we're going to get a couple more players. So before you go, Al, and get Ed back on, who's just left the room, what's been the sort of, I suppose, major improvement in this team this season to the last season? Is it just commitment and application to what the management are saying this time?
Better players.
Better players.
Always better players, because you've got better things to work with. But we've got a decent backroom staff now. They've all worked very hard. They're all got their.
They seem to bounce off each other quite well, don't they?
And the dressing room is obviously when you've won when you've won all the games that we've won, is a lot better, and everybody's got their little goes. And when you're doing well, it's when you have a bad run is what we got to pull in. It's easy for people when things are winning, but the whole place. And then of course I heard at the game on Saturday and heard what you were saying about the fans on Saturday. Well, we're getting it on from the fans. We got the backroom staff. We got the team. So it's a winning mentality, and it's what we all dream of, and we just got to keep our feet on the ground. That's the biggest thing, because we will lose matches.
It's a nice tester, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it
is a tester, because we've had that euphoria from Saturday. It was a great game of football for neutral. It was great for a Poppies fan, and I even had their goal scorer contact me as well, saying we deserved to win the game, which was very nice of him, very complimentary, and he liked his goal, obviously, that he slotted in from the wrong angle. Sorry, Bev. But it was a great game. Is it going to be a case of the Lord Mayor show, or can we continue in that same sort of spirit, do you think?
Well, this is the thing with big squads, you see, because when you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, right through the season, when you're successful, you do FA Cups, FA Trophy, etc., and all that. And it does depend. It's with the older ones, the O'Connors and the 2 centre halves and Rennie and stuff like that. you know, sometimes they're not going to be quite, you know, hopefully I'm wrong, and they all do, but that's where you've got to have 17, 18 players really, you know, because you will get suspensions. Brighton's not on the bench tonight. He doesn't.
Trying to get him in here, you know, to do a bit of commentary, a bit of punditry, but he doesn't seem too keen.
Yeah, he's not that sort of lad. He's a great footballer, and that's what he wants to be, I think. Yeah.
Okay, Al, well, great to have you on again. I'm sure you'll be on again sometime in the future. Keep us informed on. Yeah, keep us informed the players you're going to get, and you can give me a little nudge before anybody else. I'd appreciate it, so I can get things sorted out. There we go. We're going to get Ed to come back in before we start off the game.
Thank you very
much. About 10 minutes away. Thank you, Alan. Alan Doyle there, former manager, and our guru, let's call him the guru, has just left the stage.